Forgotten Ancient Ruins, Shimao and the Horrifying Disappearance Story. Hello listeners of the Mystery Seekers channel, where we explore thrilling mysteries around the world together. Deep in the wilderness of the Highlands, there are ancient secrets that have been forgotten. A place where history has never been recorded, but where traces of a great civilization that has disappeared are hidden. Ruins, strange stone structures, and unanswered questions all seem to defy time. Today, we will embark on an unprecedented journey, discovering a mystery that has been buried for thousands of years. Are you ready? Let's join Mystery Seekers on a journey into the mystery that no one expected. Don't forget to support me by subscribing to the channel. Each of your subscriptions is a great motivation for me to create better videos. There is an ancient city hidden on the slopes of the Loess Plateau. Some call it the oldest forbidden city in China. When the ruins were first discovered in the early 1950s, archaeologists assumed that it was just a remnant of the Great Wall because it looked similar. But as the excavation progressed, people became more and more surprised and unbelievable. It was clearly a well-preserved capital of a lost ancient kingdom. The discovery shocked not only the archaeological world, but also attracted attention from around the world. It was actually built around the same time as Jushi Town in England, which predated the rise of the Roman Empire by 2,000 years. The state of preservation of the other ancient ruins is also remarkable, especially the stone walls here. Even though they are over 4,000 years old, you will still feel like you are immersed in the Shimao ruins. The Shimao ruins are located on a mountain in Shenmu County, Shaanxi Province. It is located on the northern edge of the Loess Plateau and is adjacent to the inaccessible Ordos Desert, where the air is dry and dusty. The ancient city was originally covered with yellow sand. It is a stone-built city, divided into two parts from the inside out by a 10-kilometer-long stone wall, with a total area of about 425 million square meters. This scale is equivalent to the combined area of 6 forbidden cities, exceeding the 2 major ruins and pottery sites of another area of the same age. In the center of the inner city, there is a place called the Imperial City by the locals, covering an area of 20,000 square meters. It is said that the most noble people lived here. The reconstruction of the ancient city is like a terrace building, looking like it existed 14,000 years ago. The entire city goes up in layers along the mountainside, with checkpoints on the walkways at each level. First, you have to go through the highest building of this level, which is the ruler's palace. Here, there are not only the king's office, but also large craft workshops. All the elite worked and lived here, in a forbidden city with many functions. Some mysterious stone carvings were found on the city's stone foundations, including some familiar aragonite materials. For example, the iron pattern stone carvings are very similar to the aragonite bronzes of the Shang and Zhou dynasties, and there are also aragonites with 4 snakes and 4 dragons that are sometimes very familiar. Cannot be said that it has nothing to do with the Jade Dragon style of Erlitou, the later capital of the Xia dynasty, and it was the Xia dynasty that founded Chinese civilization. From this perspective, Shimao may be the time to rewrite the history of Chinese civilization. However, this capital left no historical records and seemed to have disappeared suddenly. Could it be that a major event had happened between them? Logia village, located in the upper reaches of the Yellow River, was once a prosperous Bronze Age tribe, but now it is the site of an ancient disaster. The sudden disaster buried it. Therefore, it is also known as the Pangbei Ancient City of China. But what was buried here was not volcanic ash, but a thick layer of soil. The women and their children may have been gathered around the fire to cook at that time, but they never imagined that the disaster would strike so suddenly and violently. They had no time to escape, and could only hold their children tightly and pray for survival. A long and large crack in the ruins showed that the earthquake was very violent at that time. Some experts believe that a landslide caused by the earthquake buried the people living here. But was that the only cause? Logia village is different from the surrounding mountains. A large piece of the mountain was missing, which indirectly caused one of the greatest disasters in the history of our country in the Neolithic period. The devastating earthquake caused the entire mountainside to collapse. The rock fragments blocked the Yellow River and pushed up a dam, high as 200 meters. Archaeologists estimate that the dam was about 8,000 meters long and held more than 12 billion cubic meters of water. As the water level continued to rise, the water pressure became more and more intense, eventually breaking the gravel dam. The power of all the excess water gushing out of the dam was unimaginable, and the immediate disaster it caused must have been devastating. As an ancient civilization at that time, could Shimao also have suffered a major flood or earthquake? At the junction of the Yellow River and the Dongchuan Valley, although surrounded by water on both sides, Shimao is very high, nearly 100 meters higher than the valley floor. The possibility of being affected by floods is very small. But what about a major earthquake? Our country has suffered many serious earthquakes in its history. However, there are no traces of earthquake damage on the well-preserved stone walls of Shimao. Floods and earthquakes have been ruled out. So what other unknown causes are there? Shimao seems to have disappeared suddenly. Could a great civilization have caused a climate change disaster that forced its people to leave their homes? A drastic change in climate can destroy a great city. In Shimao, experts have found that the climate at the top of Shimao used to be much warmer and wetter than it is now. But 3,800 years ago, as the city declined, the monsoon climate suddenly changed. The area became drier and colder, turning into a semi-desert. The Stonefor people who lived here eventually abandoned this wonderful place under the threat of famine and drought, leaving it buried under the yellow sand. This may be the reason for Shimao's eventual collapse, but the archaeological community still needs more evidence to prove this. Our excavation here is still in progress. I believe that Shimao will definitely have more surprises to present to the Chinese people in the future. And so, we have only uncovered a small part of the mystery that surrounds this ancient city. How many more secrets still await, still unanswered? Can we ever truly understand what happened here? Or will these things forever be forgotten, along with the lost civilizations? If you love mysterious journeys like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Mystery Seekers channel to explore untold mysteries with us. And if you have any other hypotheses or discoveries, leave your comments in the comment section. Who knows? You might be the one to find the answers to these mysteries.